To get a catch last game. This time she gets it on Evans' first pass attempt of the game. Nice 23-yard grab there for Cody Fuller. Into the red zone now. Stingrays not wasting a whole lot of time on the attack. Pass here, and it'll be a pitch out. They'll try to run for the first, for the touchdown, and it's a trucking touchdown for the Stingrays. Anastasia Wani on her first carry, bringing up 6 points. She was damaging on the defensive side of the ball against the Ravens last week. This time gets to apply her physicality on the offensive side, and it is not hard to see. Touchdown, Stingrays. Now the Stingrays with a 2-point conversion attempt. Evans pulls back her first pass and eventually hits the league target, Riley Hodgson, for a 2-pointer. 8-0. The score now, yeah, a scoreboard has it. The Raptors 8-0. It's the Stingrays 8-0. Little corner out there from Evans to Hodgson. There's been money a number of occasions. And so Gary Kendall on the scoreboard is trying to sneak 8 points over to the Raptors there on the scoreboard. The Stingrays, they lead now 8-0 early in the first. I'm sure Gary will get around to that. Pardo set to kick this one downfield. Hutchison back to return, but as is Tamara White, who's also been a proven athlete. So she'll try to see what she can find down the left-hand sideline. It's not a whole lot. The Raptors will take over around their 25-yard line. Now the Raptors back with Rivette. In the eye. Check that. Shotgun. And looking for Hutchison. It's on the hand. She's got it in stride again. Both drives, they've started with a first down pass. This time Hutchison picking up the slant. First down now. Red already having one of her better passing days, of course. Sans the interception last drive. And this time pitch now. He goes to Lele Schuster, and she's taken down early there, and a nice tackle by Mandy Porter. Another pass over the middle, trying to find Hutchison again. Incomplete. And now we'll have a third down for the first time in this game. And it's over the head. It's a bad snap here for Rivette. She's going to have to dive on it there, and that'll bring up 4th down. Well, in later games, even in the most ridiculous situations, the Raptors have been more than happy to send their offense out. Let's see if that trend continues, and if they just try to pull the rabbit out of a hat here on 4th and forever. Well, this actually could be a punt here. No, they'll just change it. Schuster now will pass. She's got the bigger arm, and matter of fact, it's too big here, overthrowing Hutchison there, and that'll be a turnover on downs. And the Stingrays will take over, and unfortunately, we've got an injury on the field. We went through the first game today without a single one of these. It looks like one of the Raptors are down. Can't make out who it is on the replay there. Can't quite make out the number right now with the training staff attending to the injured player. And we might take a short break here while the players get attended to. We'll be right back on the other side. Alright, back here on GQTV, the injured player was Renee Rivette, the quarterback who stepped aside on that play to allow Lele Schuster to throw one downfield, and in pass protection she's acquired some sort of lower leg injury and she's been carried off now. Her day might be done. She's limping on it now, been able to move under her own power, albeit very gingerly. So it looks like Schuster might be taking the rest of the snaps to close out the season here for the Raptors. But play is set to resume now, with Evans and company. Awani in the backfield. She's taking the starting running back reps today, with Jensen actually out of the country due to visa reasons. She'll be back for playoffs as Evans takes a deep drop here, now rolling out to her left, finding the short receiver, and that's Mika Dagi, who continues with a 100% catch rate on this season, picking up the short reception there. It's a nice little 2-yard gain for the Stingrays. Second down. Another deep drop for Evans. She's going to sling it near the end zone. Overthrows Brewer. Hutchison was in range as well. Sorry, Tamara White, my apologies. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Interesting formation under center. Now is Evans handing the ball off on 3rd down. Logic would suggest that they will go for it here on 4th. Picks up about 2 yards there, making it about 4th and 6 or 7. Evans returning back to her shotgun position. Awani protecting her to the right, looking for Hodgson. Hodgson with a nice move after the catch, and she'll walk it in for 6. The Stingrays add their 2nd touchdown of the day. Evans to Hodgson. And not only does she make the catch in traffic, has the awareness to evade the next defender as well. State wide receiver would have played Australia barring a leg injury. They kept her out of the World Cup. And Evans will take this on the 2-point conversion. The keeper is good. That makes the score 16-0 in favour of the visiting Gold Coast Stingrays. It is a favourite of the Stingrays, dating all the way back to the Coach Rob McKinnon days. A read option at the goal line. Looks like it's still paying dividends to this day. 16-0 now for the Stingrays. Raptors keen to add another touchdown. They added their first touchdown of the season last week against the Thunder. And Coach Mateni was telling me that they actually had to ask the referees of the process after their score, because a lot of their players had yet to score a touchdown. So they had to ask how the process went. They actually ended up going for the PAT. This one will be fielded by Hutchison eventually. She'll look for some blockers, won't find a whole lot, cuts back and makes her own space and takes this ball back to the 40-yard line. And, well, it looks like the vet will be staying on the sideline. And we'll actually have to see who's taking snaps. It looks like commanding the huddle is Talalele Schuster. Sorry, I might have missed a syllable there while calling your names. And sneaking on late is Tamara White. Might have been an illegal substitution there. The referees don't seem to mind her. And the snap there to Schuster. She'll look over the middle, looking for Tony Connolly, who gets lit up by Awani when making the catch. And trying to make the catch. Falls incomplete. 2nd down, Raptors. She's one of the most physical players in the women's division, Awani. It's good to see her back in the league. Schuster looking left now. He's got plenty of time. Again, using that arm. And the pass is overthrown. Intended to number 8, Lacey Fensom, for her first target of the day. But Schuster, who's got an impressive arm, might have to try and figure out a way to dial her back a little here. She's overthrown a couple targets now. Thurston on the coverage of that last pass. Schuster again. There looks like they're going to keep airing it out here. The Raptors. This one I can't find a receiver either. That'll bring up fourth down. 4th and 10 ahead for the Raptors. Let's see, 4th and 10 now. Looks like they're keeping their offense in. Offensive in motion. And looking like a Canadian motion there, but the bad snap will have to be, no, it'll be recovered by the Stingrays, it looks like. And the Stingrays, well, they're on the ball, but a flag has been thrown in where the recovery has been made. I wonder if they'll pull some sort of unsportsmanlike there, or illegal batting perhaps, I'm not sure. I'm going to get an official call back in. So in back-to-back games at the white-hat referee position is Pete Selich today. Opportunity to call his first flag of this game. And some love from up north. Courtney Yutsoi, who's came down, and I think I've got that pronunciation correct, Courtney, is tuning in. She came down and played a game or two for the Raptors during the season. Otherwise trains and plays with the Mackay Mavericks. Still waiting for the women's division to sort of develop up north, and we certainly hope that comes sooner rather than later.
During the play, we have an illegal kick on the ball by number 10 on the defense. It'll be a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down by yardage.
And, waiting for an official call there, I think. Seeing if illegal kicking, yeah, I thought it would be some sort of batting penalty there. One of the players recovering the ball, and it looks like it might have been one of the Stingrays. Illegally or intentionally, they must have ruled her intentionally kicking the loose ball forward to give herself an advantage. Obviously, that's something that can be done leisurely in sports, in codes of football we're used to, rugby league, rugby union, etc., but not in this sport. Now, let's see if we can catch it here and replay it. Let's see. I don't know. It might be hard done by there, but that's what the referees are for. First down. After that, for the Raptors, get a new lease on this drive. Another bad snap, though. This one is again recovered by the Stingrays. No illegal kicking on that play. This one will be a blue ball. On the recovery is Barbrich. Defensive tackle for the Gold Coast Stingrays. First down and 10. Stingrays, this is the furthest the Stingrays would have had to travel so far for a touchdown if they can score on this drive. Evans, play action pass, looking to the flat, finds Doggy. Doggy picks up a first down, uses the stiff arm to get a few more, and that looks like it's about a 14, maybe 15-yard reception there for Mika Doggy. Still very patient with her reads. Lauren Evans, you can tell she's got plenty of seasons of experience now playing the quarterback position. Evans back in the shotgun. This time Dougie caught 2 passes today. She's in the right slot. Outside of her, Riley Hodgson with the touchdown. And she will aim for Dougie again. That's 3 for 3 for Mika Dougie. Tries to stretch the ball out to get another yard. Evans on fire with the arm today. Just a double slants on that last play. And same formation here for the Gold Coast Stingrays. Brewer in that slot back position. Utilizing different levels of depths here, and it would have been an acrobatic catch for Riley Hodgson. Could she reel that in? A bit too high for her there, and it falls incomplete. 54.7 seconds remaining here in the first quarter of the final game of the Women's Division here in 2018, as far as the regular season goes anyway. Playoffs next week at the Sunshine Coast Stadium. And the Sunshine Coast Falcons of the Intra Super Cup Rugby League competition. Split back formation now with Evans under centre. They'll pitch it out to Awani. Awani's got blockers in front. She cuts back behind him now. Still yet to be touched, and there she goes. And gets another solid carry. More than enough for a first down. Fresh set for the Stingrays inside the Raptors red zone. Hutchison amongst 3 defenders in there for the tackle. First and goal now. Ball, it appears, just inside the 10-yard line. Another little triple option play. This time they'll pitch it out to Brewer, and Brewer will walk in untouched. Stingrays add their third. This time, Ash Brewer with a triple option run over the right edge. Brewer playing both sides of the ball this year, offense and defense, but has definitely been finding a groove at that little utility position. You'll find her at the end and the usual where the tight end would line up, but she's taken many a carry as well from that position. Under center again is Evans, going for the 3-step drop and looking for Hodgson on the back corner fade. And it's truly something they've practiced a lot. That's another successful 2-point conversion. 24 points to 0 here toward the back end of the first quarter. .4-0 with 24.5 remaining in the first. And for those who didn't catch the first game, the Griffith University Thunder, they defeated the Ravens 20 points to 0, locking up the second position on the ladder leading into the playoffs next week, which will be between the Thunder and the Gold Coast Stingrays. It will be happening next Saturday. 2 days of Gridiron Queensland playoff football at the Sunshine Coast next week. Saturday and Sunday. First time in at least 10 years that American football will be played in the state of Queensland on a Sunday. All at the Sunshine Coast Stadium. Tickets available online on the Gridiron Queensland Facebook page, so if you're keen to see the best teams in GQ go at it in all 4 divisions, you certainly can buy your tickets there. A short kick here for the Stingrays. Will be fielded by Hutchison. Hutchison will be taken down in a great open field tackle there by Tiafi Thurston. Last week, my apologies, I called her Johnson and my team sheets weren't updated. She is back in her number 6 jersey. Played 1 game in the number 36, but is back in her traditional 6 jersey, which she's worn in every season she's played in Gridiron Queensland. First down, Schuster. She'll take a run herself. She's bowled forward, but she's lost the ball and is picked up by Brewer. And that's another turnover for the Gold Coast Stingrays. And they'll take over inside the Raptors 40. You just see Schuster making the decision to run there, but unfortunately didn't quite keep it tucked as well as she'd like. Turns the ball over there in her first rush attempt of today. So First and 10 for the Stingrays. Evans is back. Plenty of time. Looking long now. She's got Fuller. And Fuller stops in her route. Misjudges the ball there and unfortunately sails over her head. Was open though. Did a great job at the line of scrimmage to get well behind her defender. In Hutchison. Second down and 10 after that last incompletion. Run play now. Here goes Awani again. Still untouched into the 30. Now at the 20 before she meets the defender and is taken down in a good tackle there by Connolly and over the top, Tamara White. Nice block by Brewer to get her outside Schuster. And she gets her offense inside the 10. And
the end of the quarter.
At 3 seconds, but that marks the end of the first quarter. And moving into the second, we have the visiting Gold Coast Stingrays up 24-0 over the Moreton Bay Raptors as the two teams take a walk down the field. Seen a couple of familiar faces floating around the traps today. So mentioned earlier, Cheyenne James coming in supporting his partner in the last game with the Rhinos on a bye. We've got the Colonel Tim Kearns, who's been a long-time manager for the Ravens, the Jets, and the multiple Sun Devils teams. He's come down for a look as well. Fuller, it's a good move at the line of scrimmage, and she's going to be targeted by Evans. The ball is underthrown though and almost picked off there by Kim Chapman. Fuller won the route at the line of scrimmage, but Evans couldn't quite put all the mustard on it. And it could have been a huge play on the goal line there for the Raptors had Kim Chapman managed to pull that in. Jennifer Haniff was just on screen there. And the starting defensive lineman for the Raptors. Pitch out to the right, Awani. She's been unstoppable on this play so far. Looks like that will continue. Untouched to the goal line. Touchdown Stingrays. Awani in for a second. That brings up the 30 burger for the Stingrays. Awani with a double today. And the blocking real tight for the Stingrays. Awani who can bust through a number of tackles. Has barely had to do it. Two-point conversion now. They've been successful in almost all of them. Cody Fuller has been targeted 3 times now. Has brought in, or 4 times I should say. Brought in her first attempt for a big 25-yard gain. This time Evans with split backs in the backfield. Brewer to her right, Awani to her left. Hodgson top of the screen, and they'll go to Brewer. Brewer with a nice read, gets in there for 2. Start of the second quarter, Stingrays lead at 32 points to 0. What a block there from Awani. As we come back, another big thank you to this week's GQTV sponsor and Tribal Sport. For all your apparel needs, hit them up at tribalsport.com.au. Taking all types of teams out. They dress all our representative teams. I know they dress a number of teams in Gridiron, Queensland with their apparel and jerseys. Heavily involved in the AFL scene, moving to the rugby league scene as well. Shout out to Dave and Jack Lake over at Tribal Sport. Pardo, who's been good with the boot today, sends it downfield and will be fielded on the full. Check that. On one bounce by Hutchison, picks it up around her own 30, and that's where she'll stay. Great tackle there by the Gold Coast special team unit, Serena Martin, taking her down. Check that, it might have actually number 9. No, that was right, Serena Martin on the initial contact. First down and 10 for the Raptors now. Ball on the 28-yard line. So we're going to go to a bit of a twin set here. Out to the right with Hutchison just outside the hashes. Chapman in the slot. And it's a bad snap. It must have hit a bit of dirt on the way out. Fortunately, it has to be dived on there by Schuster. And they'll lose some yardage and the down there. Raptors will have second down and we'll take a timeout to think about it. T. Brown on the sideline there, along with number 63, Amelia Bright, who is celebrating her 22nd birthday today. Happy birthday, Amelia. I was very coy about it when it was brought up, didn't want to mention. I said, can't do that. So, hope she can celebrate hearty tonight with her teammates as they see out. A lot of their first seasons here in Gridiron, Queensland. Ball now on the 25-yard line. They lost about 3 yards on that last bobbled snap. Second down. Schuster with a 3-step drop, but she's got a blitz in front of her and they'll take her down. 4 of them there by the Stingrays. They send 5 and at least 4 of them get there. First on the scene is Emily Maximovs. It's been a great addition, coming over from the Rhinos, I believe, last season. And obviously coming off a state cap as well. Huge part of that national championship Sun Devils side, competing in the WAGL earlier this year. So, 3rd and 19 now for the Raptors. They'll try to go with a little trickery, handing off to Connolly on the inside, but the Stingrays wise enough to stop that, and that'll get them back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 4th down and 19. Lalele Schuster with her ducks in a row now. Chapman in the slot, Hutchison outside her. But a snap here and Schuster will let it fly into the arms of Hodgson. Hodgson with room now on the intercept. She'll try to get to the near side sideline, does so, has got a convoy in front of her. Can she get to the end zone? Yes, she can. Riley Hodgson picking it off around the 35 and taking it all the way back for a pick six. Her second touchdown of the day, this time on defense. And the final key block there by linebacker and long-time Jet Labrisco is enough for lucky number 13. Again, we'll get in her second touchdown for the day. 2-point conversion upcoming. Looking for another 2 points. Evans will hand this off. No, she won't. Keeps the ball, looking to her left now, looking for Doggy. And Doggy can't bring it in, and she's going to be devastated. That is her first drop of the season. The 2-point conversion unsuccessful on that play, so the score remains at 38 points to 0 for the Stingrays with 5:46 remaining here in the first half. Johnny Nico now, more of the men's runners. Tuning in for a watch, Mariani. One of the Raptors teammates as well, watching in. Daniel Pardo is taken over the kicking duties from Cody Fuller this season. Looks to kick another one. This one a lot shorter than the last couple of attempts. Tries to sit it between the two front lines, and Schuster dives on it. And the Raptors, they'll take over at what looks like the 36-yard line. Make that the 37. Fortunately for the Raptors, Rivette, who is passing nicely into open the first quarter, she's succumbed to an injury and she's out of her kit now. She's on the sideline in her shorts and polo, and unfortunately with crutches, and her right knee heavily bandaged, so her day is well and truly done. So I've been trusted to Schuster to see this game out. This play will be blown dead. It was Hutchison in the backfield at the running back position, set awfully deep.
Right to the snap, right to the snap.
There's a false start in the Raptors there.
5-yard penalty.
They'll have to regroup and start with a 5-yard penalty. 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 15. So speaking about injuries, back there's a lady they call Wildcat, who's waiting for her own surgery as well. Unfortunately, she had a knee injury early in the season over at West Mitchie. The season's done. She's now become the #1 supporter, #1 cheerleader on the sideline for the Stingrays. Miss Sarah Schultz, Mother, the head coach. As you see, another flag here. It could be another false start.
Right to the snap, right to the snap.
Indeed it is. The Raptors trying to go with a bit of hard get here. Unfortunately, it's
first down.
Harming more than helping right now. As we see, 1st and 15 become 1st and 20. Joining Coach Kellhausen now, watching somewhere here at the field, I think. Schuster. She'll pitch it off to Hutchison. Hutchison will try to find some space on the outside, but Briscoe shuts that play down real quick, along with Awani. And I think that's Maximov's underneath as well. Second down, Raptors. Second down and a long way. Raptors trailing the Stingrays 38 points to 0. Midway through the second quarter now. Connolly in a tight end. Hutchison at running back. High snap is collected by Schuster. She's looking to pass. Going to try and get White, but she finds a Stingray defensive back instead, which the ball might have been wrestled away. No, it hasn't. Still in the arms of Brittany West, who walks off the field with an intercept next to her name. Takeaways continue for the Gold Coast Stingrays. Stingrays now taking over inside the 30, ball on the Raptors 24. Evans in the shotgun, Awani behind her. Looking to downfield, she's got an open receiver, and it's intercepted at the 2 by, I think that's Tamara White. Kelly Williams actually could be, in fact, the 88. Can't quite make out the 9 and the 8 on that jersey right now, but regardless, it's a fantastic play made with their backs against the wall. It's a great adjustment to the ball. She was beaten. Brewer was in the end zone, and Tamara White, the free safety for the Raptors, coming away with a huge play there to keep the Stingrays from adding more points on the board. 4:16 remaining. Raptors now in possession, but with their goalposts right behind them. We'll need a couple of physical plays here to get them out of danger. Schuster, this will be a run play, and will White get caught in the end zone? Yes, she will. Brought down by Briscoe. Briscoe adds a safety to her day. She's already got at least 2 tackles for losses. And White, well, she got the pick. Unfortunately, couldn't get them out of the end zone there. But heck, 2 points is better than 6. So this is a situation we haven't had to cover a whole lot actually on GQ TV this year, and the safety punt now. Similar to getting tackled in your own, or your in goal in rugby league, you need to kick the ball back to the opposition, except in Gridiron you will do that from your own 20-yard line. And you also get the option of either putting the ball on a tee and kicking it off like a regular kickoff, or punting the ball. The option is on the kicking side. Obviously on top of that, they also surrender 2 points to the opposition team. So the score now reads 40-0 in favor of the Gold Coast Stingrays, and now the Raptors will choose whether they'll kick off or punt back to the Stingrays. Of which, back to return, looks like it is Riley Hodgson. And they brought the tee out. They're going to go with the conventional kickoff. Hutchison going to use her right boot to try and drive this ball as deep as she can. Awani now moving back from a deep return position to the front line. Liam Hodgson, the lone returner. They will bounce past those two lines, safely into the hands of Hodgson. Hodgson with 2 touchdowns today. Would love to add a kick return to that. She's got space to the right-hand side. Outside of the hashes she goes. Still not touched. She'll try to beat the pursuing defense there. Connolly's there, but can't quite get enough onto her. I haven't got a signal. She might have been taken out at the 3-yard line. Fantastic return and desperate defense there by the Raptors to take Hodgson out inside the 5. Almost getting there. Connolly gets her off balance and can't make it the last defender there that bounce her out of bounds. Alas, the Stingrays not far away though. 3 yards away, the same distance they've been on many of their successful 2-point conversions. They'll give to Brewer, I think, or it'll be a keeper. She held that ball inside Brewer's arms for a long time, but it looks like Evans has kept it for her, actually technically her first rushing touchdown of the day to add to her 2-point conversion. So we're following the safety. Last drive, the Stingrays add another touchdown, this time on the ground to Evans. 46 points to the Raptors 0. Time inside 4 minutes of the second quarter. Passing on the 2-point conversion attempt. Protection's good. Looking for the back of the end zone, and a great deflection there. Denying the 2-point conversion is Lacey Fensom. Constantly keeping her eyes downfield. It's Lauren Evans. Defensive backs come the goods on that 2-point conversion. The score remains 46-0. Players take a ball back. Once again, I'd like to acknowledge our live stream sponsors for week 12 of Tribal Sport. For all your sporting apparel needs, hit up our friends at Tribal, Dave and Jack Lake. For an assortment of polos, training gear, jerseys, shorts, water bottles, they do it all. Hit them up at tribalsport.com.au. And it's an awfully high kick here. Will be fielded and caught and returned for an extra 7 yards or so after the catch. A nice job bringing in the kickoff alone is Kim Chapman, especially with the sun in her eyes. Does it well. Brings this ball back to where the referees mark it at the 49-yard line. Oh, matter of fact, make that right on halfway. One of my fellow commentators, Mike Jones, now tuning into the stream. Probably down, or shall I say up, at the Sunshine Coast now, in preparation to take on the Bayside Ravens in a battle for second place for those two teams. 1 point separating those two, and it's probably one of the few games this weekend that has playoff ramifications to a degree. Of course, regardless, those two teams will be playing each other next week at the Sunshine Coast, but it's a matter of who will be going in as second and who will be going in as third. Which, as I alluded to with the women's division, doesn't seem like a whole lot, but just gives you that little extra peace of mind, especially if it starts to get a little stormy on playoff day. And this pass intended to fence him falls incomplete. That'll bring up second down. Lele Schuster rolling out to her right now. She'll take on the defense and will keep trucking forward. Holds onto the ball this time and gets a good couple yards there on second down, making the upcoming third down a lot more manageable. Almost losing a boot in the process. Maximals amongst one of the two defenders that brings her down. Awani eventually cleaning her up over the top. David Reed now shooting in. Took you long enough, David. Usually you're one of the first on. Third down now. Third and looks to be 6. Just looking out to her left. Just looking for the slant. Chapman, it was in her arms. Now it's in the arms of Hodgson. Hodgson, one of the quicker players on the field. She won't be touched. And her second intercept and her second pick 6 of the day. Third touchdown in total. Riley Hodgson having quite the day here at Deception Bay Sports Centre. $52 points now. The 50 burger has been cracked for the Gold Coast Stingrays here in their final game of the regular season in 2018. Once again, utilizing 2 backs in these 2-point conversion situations. Evans will give to Awani. Awani will power her way forward, adding another 2 points. Make that 54-0 with just over 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. 2-minute warning to come on the upcoming offensive drive. Back. For those tuning in and who might have fun facts on the players involved, I'm a lonely man today. No color commentators for me, so feel free to drop any nuggets of knowledge on me and I'll relay the information to everyone watching. And this one will fall in front of Chapman, I think. Or is that Connolly? Connolly, in fact. She'll try to wrestle her way forward. She's still on her feet. She's going to fight her way forward to the 40. And the Stingrays, well, it's Taviafi Thurston who's come over the ball, but they're going to call forward progress, stopping before the change of possession there. And the Raptors look like they'll take over on their own 40. And that is the case. And Connolly looks shot after that play. Hands on hips, sucking in the big ones after all that work for an extra couple of yards, I should say. And Courtney Yutso reminding as well to give a shout out to the North Queensland portion of our Gridiron Queensland family. The Reef Bowl kicking off now in Townsville. So we had Cole Reynolds on last week giving us the lowdown of the competition, and we certainly hope that comp keeps growing, and we hope... Oh, screen pass here, and I don't think Connolly knew about it. She was the targeted receiver. Actually developed quite nicely for him, so possibly an opportunity gone lost there, but Connolly spent. She's asking for a substitution. But back to the North Queensland competition. Yes, the Reef Bowl, or the quest for the Reef Bowl, I should say. The North Queensland competition kicks off today, and that'll run all the way till March, if my memory serves correctly. They'll take a break over December for the Christmas period, and we'll get back at it mid-January. So good luck to all of them, and they give us a real eye-opening look at what the North Queensland lads do to play. We might complain about a 45-minute trip or even an hour trip for some of our away games here in Gridiron, Queensland. But this ball, and will be tried to be pitched to White, but will fall down and she'll dive in it safely. But to the folk up in North Queensland, it's almost guaranteed to be at the very least a 2.5, 3 hour trip for every game. I think some of those guys travel at least 5 hours to play a game of football. So credit to them. You certainly have to love the game to be involved when those sort of when that's your commute to each game. And fingers crossed we can get GQTV up there in one of the upcoming seasons. Give them some much deserved coverage. Third and 16 now. Ball on the Raptors 34. Inside the 2 minutes now, 2 minute warning given to us just earlier. Schuster, again the pitch out to White. Will evade the tackle of Thurston, but on the inside pursuit is Bobrich. A solid effort there by Schuster after the pitch. Knowing a job isn't done, looking for a block to contribute. Fourth down now. Raptors huddling, suggesting they'll give it a crack here on 4th and 19. Schuster has been blitzed and won't have a way out of this one. On the sack is Bobrich again. Nose tackle straight past her blocker on that one. Getting in there is also Maximovs and Serena Martin. And that'll be a turnover on down. Evans with the speed option now. She'll just take it herself. She's got plenty of blockers in front. Step it back inside and reach forward, and that's another rushing touchdown to Lauren Evans, her second rushing touchdown of the day. And, well, they actually had Brewer on the inside there for a shovel pass option, but Evans didn't think she needed her, and clearly she was correct. Running in for a 22-yard touchdown. Evans looking to the flat. Now we'll look to the back of the end zone. Trying to get Tiafi Thurston involved in the receiving game. In the back of the end zone. Can't connect though. And this score will remain at 60 points to 0 with under 50 seconds remaining here in the first half. It's actually getting a bit cooler down here after starting the day quite warm here at the Deception Bay Sports Centre. It's moved from a warm 30 degrees to a much more reasonable 26 here as the sun sets here in the northern parts of southeast Queensland. Pardo puts a bit of height behind this one and will be fielded on the full there by White. White will be met by the kicker in Pardo and will be taken down at the 40-yard line, 5 short of halfway, and the Raptors, they're back on offense. See if they try to whip out anything different. August Mateni more or less said that he let his players decide their playbook this week. See if he can jazz up some excitement. And he said some pretty poignant words. He told his players before the game to really enjoy today, because the reality is this team, what happens next year, it won't be the same group of girls. You know, whether that be more, maybe that be less. So to really appreciate the final snaps some of these girls might have together today. 1st and 10. Schuster looking for a pass over the middle, intercepted by Briscoe. Briscoe finding space down the left-hand sideline. She's got the pace and won't be touched en route to 6 points. Ella Briscoe. She did it in the WGL. She does it here to close out the regular season for the Stingrays. 3rd intercept return for a touchdown here this afternoon for the Gold Coast Stingrays. This one courtesy of Ella Briscoe. Alani alone in the backfield this time as the sole back. Not a 2-back set here. Let's see if they just let her do a job. They'll go with the speed option again, and Evans will make her way into the end zone for another 2 points. And the score stretches out to 68 points to 0. I'll take this time to acknowledge as well the folk here at Live Streaming Brisbane, led of course by our ever reliable Paul Mills. Rolling with the multiple cameras today as we prepare for some of the bigger productions next week at the Sunshine Coast over 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. And of course, a fortnight after that, we're back at Langlands Park, Suzuki Stadium, for the, I believe, the 35th Sun Bowl here in Gridiron, Queensland. Will it feature the team leading today, the Gold Coast Stingrays? We'll find out next week when they take on the Griffith Uni Thunder. Last year, the Thunder peeping them in the playoffs, turn their right to take on the Bayside Ravens in the Sun Bowl. Flags are out as this ball gets kicked out of bounds. And all the scoring, it's taken us quite some time to get to half time. It's hard to believe we are still in the second quarter. 28 seconds remaining. Raptors with an opportunity here. Best field position they've had so far. Would mean a lot to them if they could somehow sneak in here in the back end of the second. This time, they swapped quarterbacks, and this time Schuster take some running duties, bowling over her own player in that situation. Looks like White has taken some snaps at quarterback and they've moved Schuster to running back. T. Brown, unfortunately, on the receiving end of a tough Schuster run. And hang on, that marks the end of the second quarter. Actually, I completely forgot we only had 20 seconds remaining. Usually that's reserved for the fourth quarter, but as of right now, as it stands, we will be running regulation timing at least through the duration of the third quarter. So last time we left you, prior to the ambulance stop, it was Stingrays leading 68 points to 0 going into the halftime break, and the Raptors now they're back to kick off, and back deep to return is Riley Hodgson, who's netted 3 touchdowns in the first half, 1 receiving and 2 via interception. Almost scored a kick return touchdown as well. Here goes Hodgson. Hodgson has got plenty of blocks, cuts away from Chapman. Now looking down the right hand side of the field, will follow the block of Brewer. Still going now, cutting back again. Reversing, going back towards the sideline, and will take this ball inside the 10-yard line. So another strong return there from Hodgson, who's been contributing quite generously to this game today. A huge part of this 68-point lead. And we've got first and... oh, actually, hang on. Inside the 15, perhaps actually a little further out. They can still get a first down without getting a touchdown. It's Dargy on another reception. She'll fight forward for a couple of extra yards, and that'll set them up nicely here on second down. And it's a solid, almost 8.5 yard pickup to make this second and short. We'll start on the 17 via the Hodgson return. A pitch out to Awani, who has been money every time she's touched the ball. And she'll be money once more. She adds her 3rd touchdown on the ground. And the Stingrays push past 70 now. 74 points, 2-point conversion upcoming. Two-point conversion now. There'll be another note. Play action pass. Good fake. Over the middle for Fuller, and it's a nice throw and catch. Fuller adds 2 points over the middle. And the score now at the start of the third quarter. 76 points to 0 over the Moreton Bay Raptors. Looking ahead, once again, to the playoffs next week. 3 games on the Saturday, 4 on the Sunday. Men's and women's divisions will be handled on the Saturday. Women's opening us up, 2 men's to follow. And then the Sunday belongs to our junior divisions. The 2 juniors starting from 9 a.m. This ball will go past Fenton as well, eventually be downed by Hutchison. But yes, 2 junior games to start our day, starting from 9 a.m. And then our Colts division will round us out on our double header weekend. up at the Sunshine Coast. Sun Bowl, 3 weeks from now, we'll have 4 games for once. Sun Bowl's going literally double the games it had almost 10 years ago now. Formerly just a men's and junior Sun Bowl. Now looking at the juniors, Colts, women's and men's divisions played all on one day. A huge day now for Sun Bowl Saturdays. And run up the middle now for the Raptors. And just strong effort there from Schuster, and that grabs him about 3 yards there, making it 2nd and 7. Raptors again, so now down 2 players. Nichols and Rivette. And this time it'll be inside give, and this ball will be pounced on by the Rays. Barbrich, who's having a fantastic day today, has got a sack, good couple of tackles for losses, and now has recovered another fumble. And the Stingrays, they'll take over at the Raptors' 34-yard line. There's the official ruling there by Petey Solich. As we see Evans back to pass again, has got Brewer deep if she wants her, will aim for that way, and she's caught it in between 2 defenders fighting for a touchdown. Now will be tackled by White inside the 5, down to about 2 yards short. Evans still got the arm to throw long. Does a good job there, finding Brewer between 2 defenders. Tackle there by White. Brewer caught her in stride and could have taken that to 6. Has delayed them at least one more play. Evans to add her 3rd touchdown on the ground. That she does. The Stingrays continue to build on this lead. Two-point conversion now coming now, I think. Thought for a second that Briscoe was actually a wide receiver. It's Riley Hodgson still. Lining in the backfield. Evans under pressure. Rolls out to her right. Is looking for Hodgson in the back of the end zone. Hodgson tries to do the acrobatic one-hander. Pass has got too much pepper on it, and that falls incomplete. Score remains 82 points to 0. The replay there, Schuster gets in, forcing Evans out of the pocket, and Evans floats it a little too high there for Riley Hodgson. Pardo, her legs certainly got to work out today. Another sort of squib kick, but diving on it. Well, the front line I thought had it, and it looks like we first down Stingrays. And I thought the Raptors had fielded, but it squirted out, and Pardo, the kicker, has appeared to have ripped it away. It's an odd shape. That old football, the pigskin. A real difficult assignment, just trying to dive in the football. And well, it looks like the defense is running off the field for the Stingrays. So this will be a Stingray ball. Evans with multiple touchdowns through the air and the ground already. Still on the quarterback. Maloney filling in nicely at running back this week for Jensen, who'll be back for playoffs. I mistakenly said it was a second-year player. He's in fact a rookie. Visiting him from Canada. Wanted to try a hand at tackle football here in Australia. She's got Fuller over the middle. It's a nice grab by Fuller, who manages to tuck the ball before being tackled, and she's tried to lateral the pass to, I think it was Tammy Napier, who was probably not expecting it. Being the lineman she is. Exciting stuff, but incredibly dangerous. Trying to get the ball out. And, yeah, trying to provide some sort of improvised hook and ladder there. Unfortunately, not a skilled position to grab it off her. Evans again, comfortable in the pocket. Hits Brewer in the flat, being pursued by Schuster. Schuster grabs her and corrals her and brings her down. Nice open field tackle there by Talalele Schuster. First down there. Regardless of the nice open field tackle, the Stingrays are still moving forward. And a pitch now to Brewer, but the pitch has gone astray. We've got a bit of a wrestle for the ball. Neither player want to move right now, but it's between Brewer and number 61, Rayleigh Jones. Now, it's an interesting situation here because in the event of a catch, possession goes to the offense. Don't know if that's applied to a fumble, though. Usually someone's wrestled the ball out. Well, the Stingrays offense has stayed on the field. So clearly Brewer got back and recovered in time. So they'll just take the loss of yardage there and, of course, the loss of down. So simultaneous possession is applied there, so offense stays in control. Evans. Looking out to her left, Fuller over the slant. No, it was Doggy. Now this is off Doggy's hands and caught by a Raptor defender. Their second intercept of the day. And looking for the slant and on the tip draw there. I think it's that Tamara White picking up her second intercept of the day. Both in the red zone. She's picked herself up a pair of intercepts on an All-Australian quarterback. Chapman now, the near side wide receiver. And, well, a bit of miscommunication here, and Schuster's just going to run it herself. And she'll pick up a yard or two. And picks up actually a little more than that, actually. Definitely a solid 2 yards, probably a couple inches further. 2nd and 8. Under center was Schuster, pitches it out to Hutchison. Hutchison trying to get to the outside, but Briscoe once again patrolling that line of scrimmage. Takes it down for a loss, and they're back to where the original line of scrimmage was marked here for a third down. Giving them a 3rd and 10. And the Raptors opt to take a timeout. Their first timeout of the half. There's a Wani having a chat to wideout Pete Solich. Pete Solich, a former player for a couple of clubs. The Bayside Ravens initially, then making a bit of a resurgence and playing for the Raptors in his latter years. And now he's fans at home in the Referees Association. Review. Queensland officials, I should say. Third and 10 now, the Raptors took a timeout. Let's see if they've dialed up the right play here to convert on 3rd and 10. Schuster with a quick throw and a quick interception by the Stingrays. A great read there by Brittany West. Her 2nd intercept of the day. Trading intercepts now, these two offenses. West just in man coverage there and just reads the slant, jumps the route. Her improvement continues throughout 2018. Seems to be hitting peak form right as they head into the playoffs. 82-0, 2:25 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And Brewer, a run up the middle, breaks a tackle and takes it forward for a long gain on 1st down, probably netting herself about 9 yards. And maybe make that 8. Ball now on the 32. Evans, inside give to Awani now. Awani breaking tackles. 2-3, and it's not to the 3rd and 4th defenders until she's taken down on the stop, Judy Archibald. Not before she makes an impressive incision on this Raptors defense. First and 10 Stingrays. Ball on the 15. Evans gives this to Awani again. Misdirection's got him. Awani manages to get in without any trouble at all. Another touchdown for the Stingrays. I think that's 4 for Awani now on the ground. 88 points racked up by the Stingrays now. Fantastic blocking on the outside. And by the left side, wide receivers for the Stingrays as well. Gets them in for another score on the ground. Passing on for the 2-point conversion. Dougie in the flat. Can she beat Fensom? That she can. Turn that 88 into 90. And the Stingrays with 1:20 remaining in the 3rd. Continue marching down the field in the professional way they do. Pardo, who I've noticed has had the right calf taped up, and rightly so. Right leg will certainly be warm after today. Another low kick that's picked up by Fensom, who tries to take a knee, and maybe she needs to do how to slide there. That's probably one of the more awkward ways. I can't actually fault the defender on that play. She's already heading down at 100 mile an hour. If you're going to give yourself up, you got to do the old baseball slide. All right, 1st and 10 Raptors. Just over a minute left in the third. Looking to build on last week where they got on the board against the Thunder. And hang on, we might have a change of quarterback here. It's White back in at quarterback again, trying to get a run play to Connolly, but this ball is stripped out by Pardo. Well, she's been contributing with the right leg a lot today. This time strips the ball, and I think there's a bit of confusion there. The Stingrays well and truly thought they had it. I thought they had it. That mightn't be the case. Now a flag's been thrown late. Well, now the defense is heading off the field.
Dead ball foul. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 10. Be a 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
And, well, she stripped the ball, but then Pardo's been penalised for an unsportsmanlike conduct call after the turnover now. Because that happened after the turnover, Stingrays will keep possession, but the 15 yards will be applied to their drive now, so they'll be marched back 15 yards for the unsportsmanlike conduct. Looks like the Stingrays will be coming out to start the drive in the spread. Evans will finish this game in a quarterback. Push the short to Awani. She picks it up in the flat and bowls over the first defender. Tries to back Schuster, but Schuster cuts her down. Nevertheless, still a solid game there on the 1st down reception for Awani. And unfortunately in that position, you saw it there, one of the players down. I think it might be Judy Archibald, injured during that reception. Now we've got an injury timeout. The Raptors players get rehydrated. And just getting word now that we are moving into a running clock here for the 4th quarter. So 36.5 seconds remaining in the 3rd. Once we tick into the 4th, the clock will stop for only changes of possession and timeouts. So we'll see a accelerated 4th quarter ahead of us. Second down now. 4 yards remaining after the first down. Throw and catch for 6 yards. And here goes Brewer. Pretty much taking a fullback carry there. Now, Brewer's down after that carry. She hit the ground pretty hard, and she's writhing around quite uncomfortably. He's hoping that she just winded herself. She's a tough girl. Brewer, and I think from what it looked like on that replay, she just landed on the football. It's winded the best of us. Back now. It was okay. On third down now. Third and 3. Speed option. She'll pitch it. Here goes Awani again. Scary to think she is the second string running back for this Gold Coast Stingrays side. Certainly something other teams will probably want to take note of. And we've got a few more players down. Fensom involved in that tackle with Awani. She's helped up by Riley Hodgson, and she'll probably try to make her way to the sideline now.
That's the end of the quarter.
And that
It'll be fourth quarter. The mercy rule will be enforced. It will be a running clock.
Moving to the fourth, which, as I mentioned earlier, that we are moving into a running clock here for the fourth. So injuries, running out of bounds, incompletions, they will not stop the clock. The only thing that will stop our clock are timeouts and changes of possession. So, 8 accelerated minutes remaining in the women's division here in 2018 as teams start looking forward to next week. As I've mentioned many times throughout the broadcast today, Sunshine Coast, the home of the 2018 playoffs, being held over 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, for the first time in Gridiron Queensland history. Stingrays passing here on to Brewer. Brewer's clearly fine from the last play. She'll add another 8 or so yards to her receiving total today. Second and short. Evans calling out blitzers. Deep drop. Looking short. Once again to Brewer. Brewer the lead target on this drive. Stingrays still moving. Another deep drop from Evans. Throwing the ball deep. Once again to Brewer, who had it at the goal line. It slips through her hands. So that'll bring up second down. And Fuller rolling and strolling it in for another score. So another touchdown in the air. Evans to Fuller. We'll see on replay here. Fuller has been pretty clinical over that middle of the field. 2-point conversion upcoming. Once again, going a triple option here. Evans, no trouble adding the 2 points. 98 points to 0 with just under 6 minutes remaining here in the fourth. The Stingrays well and truly getting as many reps in as they can ahead of next week's playoff game. Still checking in on the people watching in. Chris Mooney watching in, and as far as I remember, he's still in North America, gallivanting around. I think I last saw him in San Francisco, so big hello to you, Moons. You must be missing football, mate. I've got a warm chair and microphone ready for you if you ever want to make the change and make the jump into the booth. Ticking under 5 minutes now. A few other games to round out as well. For the 2000 regular season, the last game being played will be the Thunder taking on the Ravens up at the Sunshine Coast. Chapman fields this kickoff and will get it past halfway. And the Raptors will take possession with 4.5 minutes remaining in their season. First down now. Time for them to empty out the playbook. Anything they may have suggested to Coach Matania. This try is probably the time to use it. And evades the rush. Here goes White. Can she get to the edge? We'll try to cut it back now. Beats Briscoe, but will be taken down by Maximovs in the process. Still a solid effort there on first down. Does a good job there, almost taken down by Maximus, who eventually takes her down, but almost picking up a sack. Good hustle there shown by the former Rhino to finish off the play. Second down and 9. And this, the snap's over White's head, and she'll just have to dive on it. And that will turn long third down situation to a longer fourth. So they'll probably line up to go for it here. I would have loved to see something tricky, like a fake punt or something. Whether the Stingrays are going to buy it or not, why not? Got any double reverses, reverse passes? Fumble Rooskies, why not? Hook and ladder. Cody Fuller tried it earlier. Unfortunately, another bad snap will deny a chance for any of that. White will try to make something of it, but it's taken down for a sack by Kathleen Clifford. So we're inside the 2-minute warning now. Official 2-minute warning.
Officials time out. 2-minute warning, coach. 2-minute
One
warning.
other stoppage that will cease the clock's progression. And right in there with me, folks, the final 2 minutes of the women's 2018 season here in Gridiron, Queensland. Just ahead of us. Raptors on for fourth down. We'll need something pretty crazy to get it done here, but hey, fingers crossed. Fourth down. That's an awkward snap. They'll give it to Connolly. Connolly She's running as if it's still the first quarter. Adds another couple of rushing yards to a total today, and the Stingrays, they'll take over with a minute 40 and ticking remaining on the clock. And that could be a very special memory there. As I alluded to earlier, this very well could be Tony Connolly's last game. And let's see if there was an equipment violation here by one of the players. I think it was Mika Dagi, who might have had a chin strap on. That'll send her off for at least one play. In comes Tiafi Thurston, the starting a free safety, and as of late, moonlighting on the offensive side of the ball. It's certainly not where she generally calls home, as you can see now by her double and triple checking in with quarterback Lauren Evans. And looking for Hodgson, but no, she'll look for the end zone now for Fuller, and Fuller adds her second touchdown of the quarter, deep in the back of the end zone. Showing off a bit of speed there and does a good job staying in bounds. Cody Fuller off to Seattle. Play for the Seattle Majestics, and to add to her 6 points, she adds 2. And the Stingrays eclipse the 100-point mark for the second time in their history. And that, ladies and gentlemen, could be the last play of the game for the women's division here in the 2018 Gridiron Queensland season. And there it is. Petey Solich raised the ball above his head, and the regular season for the women's division has come to a close. The final score, the Stingrays with a commanding victory, 106 points to 0. The Raptors, well, this has been a learning season for them. Plenty of rookies, plenty of people picking up a helmet, picking up pads for the very first time, and we certainly hope that their growth continues into 2019. For the Stingrays, well, they've got plenty of talent on that side, and they've certainly got any sort of rust from the 2 games missed earlier this month, moving into the playoffs. So next week, the Stingrays, they'll be appearing once again to open up GQ TV. They'll be taking on the Griffith University Thunder. And then we will see the 2 men's teams, 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, to follow them on Saturday. And then the junior divisions and the Colts divisions starting from 9 a.m. on the Sunday. We very much appreciate your company, not just today, the last 2 games, but all the way throughout the regular season. I'm Kenny Andres. Appreciate your company. Look forward to you joining us next week at the Sunshine Coast here on Gridiron Queensland TV. Bye for now.
Get him up, get him up. Funny how you choose and pick your battles, dude. Keep saying you number 1, but I'm on top. Yo, it's done. Dropping styles like napalm. Fake rappers think they so strong. Verses full of hype and always ready for a fight. Spontaneous, magnanimous, cause they can't get close enough to run with us. If you want a battle, get it hard, get it raw. No emotions, I shake you until your chains fall off. What? Large, in charge, I set the bar high. You running with the big boys now. Get up, don't cry.